Recording in progress.
So, my name is Michael Randolph, and I'm with the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development. Today, I want to share with you a website that every nonprofit should register with. The website is called Guide Star. What's important about this website is that it acts as a clearinghouse to certify if nonprofits are legit. And they do this by making nonprofits provide certain types of credentials as well as certain information. With this site, they measure your transparency in terms of level. It can be gold, silver, or the highest level, which we have, which is called bronze transparency. We just received our status this year. That's important when funders look at you to see if they want to fund you. As you can see, the information that they provide to funders includes the name of your organization, your EIN number, your status, as well as other information. The other thing it does is to show what is your mission as an organization. It allows the person to see what year you started. For example, we had 2014 that we started. That is, we filed for our status. However, we've been doing this since 2010. It displays your EIN number. The other thing it does, and this is very important, it shows a list of subject areas to which your nonprofit has registered as their focus area, from job creation, community organizing, all these different subject areas right here. Keep in mind, we have about 12 different additional subject areas that we focus on. That's important because as you go to get funding, they want to know that you are asking for funding. That's something you're asking for. You're funding for something that is within your registered service area with IRS. The other thing that's important and they list is what's known as your NTEE code. This code right here, and I don't know what it stands for, but I know what it's for. It's the way of giving you a code for what your organization is registered with IRS to do. In our case, we do community and neighborhood development, as well as community improvement. We are listed as a single organization. We also provide support service or technical support services to nonprofits in order to build their capacity. And finally, we also provide nonprofit management. This is important because as you begin to ask for funding, IRS want to know what are you actually registered, not IRS, I'm sorry. The funders want to know what is IRS, how does IRS have you registered in terms of what you do. Okay, let's continue. It is like a must that you do this. The other thing they look at is what are your program results as a nonprofit. As a nonprofit. as a Black nonprofit, when you look at our results in a small nonprofit, a nonprofit that consists of one staff and volunteers, and you compare us to your larger organizations, predominantly organizations that are both middle class as well as let me get this together. What am I trying to say? It is when you compare us to other uh, organizations that provide the same service that we provide, and you compare us to your other nonprofits that are pretty much predominantly white and predominantly middle class focused and headed, we outshine them, not only from a cost benefit and cost effectiveness perspective, but also in terms of the number of programs and services that we provide. That is the scope of things that we provide for organizations that do what we do. As you know, we focus on nonprofit uh, technical assistance as well as community development. When you look at comparing our program outputs and outcomes with our costs, we deliver a more cost-effective product, pound per pound. When you look at our size of one compared to organizations that have 20, 30, 40, 50 employees, when you look and compare our results to those organizations, per capita, we provide a much greater impact in terms of cost effectiveness. When we're talking about cost effectiveness, we're talking about the cost of meeting a single goal or an objective, and can be used to identify the least costly alternative to meet that goal. When we talk about cost benefit, we're talking about ways to identify all relevant costs and benefits, and usually expressed in terms of dollar terms. So when you look at those dollars and you compare us, we probably see those organizations. Let's look at our results. Look at us compared to the number of organizations that we provide technical assistance to. When you look at from 2020 to 2022, you can see the number of per organization that we provide consistent service for. And when you compare this to other organizations that have 10, 15 staff, our cost effectiveness is greater. Also note that this number of organizations that we provide technical assistance to are only those numbers that you have displayed here is from 20 to 22. We've been around since 2010. So we're talking about we've actually been able to provide technical assistance to over 2,500 up to 3,000 nonprofits, mostly by way of virtual training online. When you look at and you compare us to those organizations that focus on um, economic and community development, both on a national and local level. Our numbers, when you look at us compared to those organizations, far exceed those organizations. And each number that you're looking at, like for 2022, 2020, it represents number of states. Again, keep in mind that these numbers only represent 20 to 2022 in terms of the number of initiative. And when we talk about initiative, we're talking about working in these communities to provide what we call a comprehensive, holistic approach to changing the narrative in poor communities and putting communities at the driver's seat. This is what we call by our community initiatives. The other thing we provide is services to grassroots organizations. As you see the numbers here from 20 to 22, keep in mind again that these numbers right here only represent the last 3 years, and we've been around the last since 2009, 2010, and on average, we've been doing assistance to grassroots organizations at least 100 to 150 a year prior to 2020. So as you can see, our impact is wide reaching when you look at our staff compared to other organizations that have way more staff in terms of trying to do the same thing that we do. When you look at the number of manuals that we produce by year from 20 to 2022, keep in mind that 250 is not correct. That number should be 25. Manuals are those type of things that we produce that might be how to start a nonprofit manual, how to start a business, for example. Those type of manuals that we produce as part of our workshop. In terms of number of training hours that we'll put in to organizations since from 20 to 22, you see the numbers there. Those numbers fluctuate up and down. But keep in mind again, these numbers represent the 20 to 2022. We started in 2010. So those numbers that you're looking at now in terms of man hours are probably in the thousands of thousands, not tens of thousands of hours that we put in. And then finally, when you look at the number of individuals that we provide consulting information for, you can see those numbers run from 2020 to 2022. Again, those numbers right here definitely only represent that 3-year period of time. And we've averaged at least 100, 150 per year since 2010. Now, keep in mind that when we talk about consultant, it can be anywhere in which the organization is asking, during one of our mini class, what is it that our organization X need to do in order to reach our organization B goals and objectives. So that consultant in that particular respect. So in a nutshell, as you can see that pound for pound, as a Black organization in a predominantly white organization does the type of work that we do, which is neighborhood development, economic development, nonprofit development, and those other things that we focus in. As a Black organization, we stand our ground in terms of providing those services. And we do it from a bottom-up perspective. So again, this whole journey started with me growing up in a community that is like most poor communities. And with over the years, I've seen organizations come and go, but the communities be basically the same. The whole focus of the starting this organization was to focus on how can we change the narrative by those neighborhoods with the two sets to transform their community from the bottom up. So that's our story as to what we do. Um, and I did this tonight because we provide all kinds of training. But every organization that claims that they are putting in the time should be able to show what they're doing, or to what they're doing to show the results that they're trying to get in terms of the money that they're trying to get. So to other nonprofits, I encourage you to make sure you do something like this. We can work with you in putting together something like this, but it is critical that you do follow your nonprofit with this organization um, in order to increase your chances of getting funding. A gold star, again, is where funders go to look to see when you begin to ask for grant money and things of that nature. What are you legit? What have you done to prove that you are worthy of getting that money? So I hope this has helped.